Walmart looks to remove all cashiers from stores.
Yeesh. That's rough.
Now, I personally think Fox 5 New York has taken a little liberty on this headline because I watched the clip and they're saying, yeah, Walmart's experimenting with it. But of course, I can see it. Talked about this before. Post-COVID reality, post-apocalyptic outlook, humans at home, time on their hands, human interaction at an all-time low. 2020, baby. Get used to it.
Very sly automation.
This is the perfect entry point for maximum Terminator automation. Skynet. I got another story ties into that.
Oh, great.
Walmart, bit of a store. Couple of stores.
A giant?
You might call it that. Across the United States, how many Walmarts do you think there are? Never mind the United States. How many Walmarts total, Will? Give it to me. I know you have this data ready to go. You don't even have to Google it.
I would say 50,000.
That's way too many.
Is that too many?
Yeah, it's way too many. But go ahead. Let's get the number. Let's do a Walmart count. A big player. In the absence of Amazon, obviously we're talking about the biggest retailer. I don't know where they stand. They kind of go back and forth, and they sort of have different markets, but 11,500 under 56 banners. So they're probably including, Sam's Club and something else. But anyway, let's say 10,000 Walmarts. Walmart is poised to could really change the game. There's a couple of players that could really change the game in one foul swoop. Amazon's a player, Walmart's a player. They have enough of a footprint that if they made a change across all stores, well, Amazon doesn't have stores, but you see what I'm saying here.
They have like a whole foundation process.
Exactly. Exactly. And if they find a system that works in one market, they're going to want to roll it out to the next market. And they have the scale where the impact would be felt. 11,500 stores, how many employees? Give us a little checkup on that. How many Walmart employees in the world? I don't know if you ever typed before, Will.
What's a keyboard?
Look at the number of Walmart associates. Even Vin couldn't guess that. 2.2 million associates at Walmart. And of course, a percentage of them, probably a fairly large percentage, work as cashiers.
Mm-hmm.
So you start with headlines like this and you got 35 million people in the country we live in, you and I.
Mm-hmm.
You got 2.2 million Walmart associates in the world. Sheesh. It's a whole city out here.
That's an empire.
That's a whole city worth of people, and they're not going to be happy if all of a sudden these robots are checking you out. I mean, I don't mean robots. I'm talking automated checkouts. We've all done them. Now, Walmart, at this point, they say this is strictly an experiment. It's in Arkansas, and it's a little test run. That's no big deal, little test run. Deal? We're here for our customers. The lady at the end of the report here on Fox 5 is kind of funny. Play this. And at the very end, so at first she's kind of being nice. She's kind of like, yeah, Walmart testing it out. Of course, this thing's not loading for me. She's like, Walmart kind of testing it out.
And Walmart is testing out a
So,
only does self-checkout. The retail giant is only Walmart says the secret use of propagating on the success of the test.
So she kind of nice. They're testing it out, a technology. Then you get to the end. I'll go to the very end, Will, and just get the soundbite.
And I'm sure Walmart could expand the program to more stores.
Right here.
But I'm sure it has nothing to do with cutting back on their employees.
And the clip ends. And I'm sure it has nothing to do with cutting back on their employees.
Imagine working at Walmart and watching this clip. You're like, I'm going to have a lot more questions than that, you know?
Yeah. Well, of
Talk
course.
to my supervisor.
Well, for the record, of course it has to do with eliminating employees as well. If they can find
Exactly,
efficiencies,
yeah.
yeah, of course it does. But it's just funny how she kind of snuck it in there just a little bit at the end.
Yeah. Just a disclaimer.
Yeah, just snuck it in there. But this, to me, seems inevitable. I mean, how many of these COVID-type experiences are humans willing to go through to before we start to demand this type of technology to limit the exposure that we have to others. Right? People have been through a really treacherous time. Now, look, I'm not saying that a cashier doesn't offer something up. I'll go through a cashier. I'll chat. I'll say, how's it going? You know? How about the weather outside? I don't mind. I like humans. But at the same time, there's limits, there's thresholds before people start looking for other solutions. And Walmart, in particular, I mean, you saw Jeff Bezos. Bezos had 150,000 new employees. Bezos on a rocket ship. I mean, he's got his rocket ship company, but I didn't mean it like that. I mean, he's on a rocket ship from a wealth perspective, even after the divorce. And you know they're sitting there in Arkansas in the Walmart offices saying, we need people in our stores. If they're buying online, most of the time they're going to Amazon. Amazon figured that out. Yeah. We got all these stores. It's our advantage. And they can't come in because we got too many humans spitting COVID. I'm not saying they all were, but you see where I'm going here. I mean, I'm exaggerating.
Yeah.
As I normally would.
Yeah.
And they can't serve their customers. And there's a lot of customers, I'll tell you as well, on the other side, from a completely sincere standpoint, a lot of customers couldn't figure out how to get to the online thing or get certain things they need online, particularly elderly customers and things like this. Man, I remember reading some stories when the thing first broke. An elderly couple sitting in their car outside a supermarket, holding up a $100 bill to the window, asking somebody to go into the store because they were worried for their lives. Obviously, that's the group that's been affected the most from this outbreak thing. And so for them, if a completely automated store existed that limited the number of people come through and limited the proximity of interaction, that's meaningful. So there is a purpose for it. But yeah, obviously Walmart, a giant corporation, there's more to the story. And certainly these last few months, we all have to assume that the outcome is going to be a greater expedited march towards
automation.
Well, I guess automation, robotics, a lack of human contact, whatever you want to call it. Convenience, maybe to some. Convenience, maybe to some. Time will tell. We shall see. But if Walmart does it, you can bet your bottom dollar if Walmart does it, a lot of other companies are going to look towards it as well.